This is Power Ground Boxing, and where we're dedicated to the great sport of boxing, and it's brought to you by Power Grind Sports. I need you to subscribe right now for another jab of boxing news from around the world, commentary, and of course, entertainment with a focus of honoring those of the past and the present who have made a positive contribution on this great sport of boxing. This is Quick Jab, and guess what? Today I am in the studio and we are talking Terrence Crawford. That's right. Power Grind Boxing talking Terrence Crawford and how he destroyed David Advansian. Now, with this pay-per-view brought to you by BLK Prime, I will say that it was a turbulent pay-per-view. I saw a lot of complications. Even during the build-up, I saw some problems. However, that is to be expected when you're first starting a promotions company or you're trying to break into an arena that you are not consistently in. I hope that made sense. I'm formulating these thoughts as I'm speaking, and I'm not the brightest boxing individual. So this is what I'm going to say about this event. I'm going to primarily focus on Terrence Crawford and David Advansian. Now, I hope that I'm pronouncing his name properly. I saw the fight. Of course, I was jumping between ESPN and another piece of technology where I would look at the BLK Prime fight. So what I saw is what we all expected, which is Terrence Crawford knocking out David Advansian. Now, I want to say that was a 6th round. Now, if I'm getting my numbers confused, it's okay. But I think it was a 6th round, if I'm not certain. I saw it one time. I didn't look at the playback. But Terrence Crawford did what everybody knew that Terrence Crawford would do, which is knock out and defeat David Advansian. Now, I'm in different social media groups, and they are boxing groups. Now, I did not give David Advansian a puncher's chance. Now, normally in any type of bout, people will always give the opposition a puncher's chance. However, when I saw this David Advansian individual, I did not give this individual a puncher's chance because of the history of David Advansian, Lamont Peterson, Mean Machine, et cetera, et cetera. So when I saw this individual's history, I went and looked at a couple of fights. I said, no, you don't even get a puncher's chance. That's just how it is. That is just how I was thinking. Now, some people in some Facebook groups thought I was the most unintelligent individual on the face of the planet. And that may be true. However, I was not wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? So listen, I don't have to always be the sharpest knife in the shelf, but it just is what it is when it comes to Terrence Crawford and facing, I'm going to say, non-elite competition. Now, if Terrence Crawford is facing non-elite competition, I expect him to look how he looked last night, which is looked like a person that could not be beat by that other individual. Now, one of the things that I did not like in these 6 rounds of competition is that Terrence Crawford was getting hit more times than, even in the first round, but he got hit more times than I would think that is conducive to good health. He's just getting hit too much. Now, I understand with age, a boxer slows down. That's just the reality of thing, because Father Time waits on no one. You got what I'm saying? But Terrence Crawford is getting hit too much for my comfort. I'm a fan of Terrence Crawford, and I don't want to see him taking unnecessary shots because the name of the game is to hit and not get hit. So I wasn't surprised that Terrence Crawford destroyed David Advansian. Now, I was surprised that it went more than 5 rounds. I expected 4 or less rounds. I thought Terrence Crawford. Now, I know that habitually and historically, Terrence Crawford is a slow starter. So since he starts off slow and then he adjusts, he just basically he's downloading the data that he's currently experiencing, and then he's adjusting in real time. I think that he's a special fighter. Yes, I think he's massively talented. And this was not the fight that I wanted to see. But in boxing, we don't always get what we want. So we just get what we get sometimes. And this was another display of individuals just getting what they got. So it didn't surprise me on any type of level. It was not the event that I wanted to see. It didn't have the theatrics and just everything. Now, one thing I will say was, which was funny about the Terrence Crawford walkout, is that he walked out to Bobby Brown, My Prerogative. So, oh man, when I tell you I laughed so hard when I was listening to the song, and since I'm old, I was singing the song. You got what I'm saying? So, oh man, it was so funny the fact that Terrence Crawford was walking out to Bobby Brown's My Prerogative. I thought that was the funniest of all funny. You know what I'm saying? And I was singing the song in my mind, and that was just weird. But, it just is what it is. That's just how it is. But like I said, Terrence Crawford was expected to defeat David Advansian. I don't know what's next for Terrence Crawford. He's getting a lot of criticism from the boxing community, even in different Facebook groups and things of that nature, because, he's not fighting what individuals would call the most elite of competitors. Now, what I notice in these Facebook groups is that individuals they were speaking about David Advansian. They were saying like, this is a very advanced fighter. He's very dangerous. He's a worthy adversary. He may give Crawford trouble. And they was just saying they kept saying this stuff over and over. And I was just wondering, I'm like, man, it was just weird because every single time Terrence Crawford has fought, no one is ever in these boxing groups like, yo, this guy's just a deadly, unless, he top 5 or something like that. No one was like, yo, no, this is going to be a great fight. This guy is a durable individual. This guy has the ability to upset Terrence Crawford. No one has said that since Crawford been fighting, when the guy was not, ranked in, like top 5, top 7 type of individuals. Now I know they were saying that David Advansian was like a top 10 component. And I was just like, okay, you in the top 10. Oh, okay. But where was I? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't subscribe to the thinking of, which I call sheep thinking, but I don't subscribe in the thinking of just because someone on some channel or some station or some network says someone is a pound for pound champion or a pound for pound competitor, then that means that they are. No, I use my own brain, and then I visually see what I see, and I make my own assessment. I use my own mind because I have a logical mind. I understand how to count points. I understand how boxing works. I know the rules of boxing. So I use my own analytical mind to make my own assessments. That's what I encourage you to do. So just because someone says that whoever is a top or pound for pound competitor doesn't mean I just automatically say, you know what? I'm going with that person's thoughts right there. Now, I use my own mind and I make my own assessments using my own mind. And like I said, I encourage you to do the same. But my thoughts on Terrence Crawford completely obliterating and destroying David Advansian is what we knew would happen. It is not some surprise. I do think that Terrence Crawford is a pound for pound great. He's definitely a first time Hall of Famer. I have no doubt in that. And I wish him the best of luck in the future. I think that his record at other divisions speak for themselves. At 147, I definitely would have liked to see him face a more worthy adversary. However, hey, he's just getting to the money. He's just trying to get this bag. And right now, as it applies to this business of boxing and this sport of boxing, I think that these fighters, they need to think about themselves more and about these promotion companies less. They got to do what is most important and most beneficial to themselves and their families. Because what I'm noticing is that these promotion companies and these networks and these companies, they do not care about the livelihood of these boxers. So these boxers, they need to make the decisions that's most beneficial to them and to their family. Now, sometimes when they make these decisions, this is what I want you to think about. Sometimes when they make these decisions, even though they're doing what is most beneficial to them and their families, etc., you got to understand they not operating off, all the intelligence in the world. They don't got all of the business degrees and all of this and that and know everything on the earth. It seems as if we living in a time where just because you can Google something and you think you know because Google said it, then you just the subject matter expert. You got what I'm saying? These boxers and these people who are in business, they a lot of times they operate off of limited knowledge. So they have to use the knowledge that they have access to, and they have to make a decision. Sometimes that decision is going to be beneficial for them in the long run, and sometimes it's not going to be beneficial for them in the long run, but it's up to them to make the decision that they feel is beneficial to them. You got what I'm saying? So if Terrence Crawford made a decision that he felt was beneficial to him and his family, then I don't knock that. I do think that there's stiffer and tougher competition out there at 147. And for any boxer to want to go past 147 when you have not done the due diligence in 147, to me would be illogical. It wouldn't make sense. So a lot of times on the internet and different boxing groups, people are like, yo, he should go up to 154 and fight Charlo. That wouldn't make sense. And, just using logic, it wouldn't make sense to me. And if Errol Spence has all three belts at 147, in my mind, he should fight the person that has all three belts. Because, hey, you want to blow through the whole division. You want to conquer it. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford has the skill set. He has the athleticism to beat Errol Spence. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to beat Errol Spence, but I don't think that he should entertain going up to 154 if he didn't take care of what's at 147. You got what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts. Now I may be wrong with some of the things that I'm saying, but try to understand what I'm saying. I don't think he should go and fight Charlo if Errol Spence is at 147 saying, hey, come fight me. I'm going to fuck you up. Nah, if somebody tell me they're going to fuck me up, and like when I go to the gym, if you tell me you better than me, you can't just talk to me. That's how I am. You got to show me. When I go there, you got to show me what's what. We got to see what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got to glove up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell me you want that work, guess the first thing I'm telling you is, hey, we'll glove up then. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we going to glove up. We going to do some sparring, and then it's going to be whatever it's going to be. You got what I'm saying? If I get the best of you, okay. I'll see you Thursday. If we fighting on a Tuesday. If I get the best of you, then hopefully if we on a Tuesday, you should see me Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have to run it back until I get that, you know what I'm saying? Until I get that back. You know what I'm saying? That's just the rule in boxing. I don't know type of rules that you follow, but that's the rules that we follow in the gym. You know what I mean? If you get the best of me, then guess what? I gotta get that back. You get what I'm saying? But Terrence Crawford destroyed David Advansian, and it was nothing new, nothing surprising. And that's just how it is. This is quick jab. You got what I'm saying? This is how it is. I know you like, man, this guy is crazy. But look, this is Power Grind Boxing, courtesy of Power Grind Sports. And I try to do my best to talk about the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thank you for, hey, I want you to subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. I'm talking in the studio. Now, you know, I got this wild world of boxing show that I do from my home office space when I'm not in the studio, but today I'm in the studio. So look, I had to come and give you a quick jab. Look, man, shouts out to Terrence Crawford for doing what he's supposed to do. Man, shouts out for David Advansian for giving his all, you know, and man, shouts out to everybody else in boxing. We got too much division in boxing. And just because we like this fighter over that fighter, and we don't still have to hate another fighter. You got what I'm saying? Look, be good, stay on the grind. I'm out of here. Peace.